Welcome back to Mr. Steve Warburton and an hour with the Tower. Huge 2015 that we were talking about before. Absolutely huge. 2016. Did you slow down? Did you play more cash? Was it a case of I'm not travelling around too much?
It's so hard to think when 2016 was in terms of what was happening. I'm pretty sure I was still playing, as in like tournaments and things. But now, kind of looking back, you kind of have these purple patches, don't you? There are so many players that they'll have a cash, and then you'll see them cash again and again and again, and then for like the next 12 months, they just kind of don't. And I don't know. I don't know if it's confidence or what just happens. But yeah, I was still playing in 2016 quite a bit, and obviously not having the cashes I was having the previous year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know as well. I never really got carried away with tournaments. I was never really one to play 60 events of the World Series or every single EPT and stuff. I was always quite kind of level-headed. And
but one of them you do like, as we can see, GUKPT Manchester. You've got so many entries in the database. 2018 to 14, 2020 for 20th. You got so many cashing 3 of the last 4 years. It has to be the favourite stop. I know it's your local one, it's your home one, but is it classed as your favourite stop?
It's the favourite stop because it makes up for all the other GUKPTs that I'm just doing my money in. I can't go to Luton or Walsall or Bolton and just do 4 or 5 buy-ins.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like with Manchester, I'm always trying that little bit harder because home stop, most players, the kind of great camaraderie of people. So that's always fun. But yeah, I've no idea if I don't know. I think I'm probably slightly up on GUKPTs because of that.
Yeah.
Sort of shop with Debman and thingy, but I've put a lot of money into them, don't you? Don't you worry about that. Yeah.
Norwegian Championships came to Britain, and they started being played around the country. You had three tournaments where you cashed for well over 60,000. I heard they used to be crazy. I heard the cash tables used to be mad as well. Was that one of the reasons why you played them? Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the absolute best stop on the calendar every year is the Irish Open. It's getting better and better. I think it's going to be the biggest it's ever going to be next year. Yeah.
I basically booked my flights in January this year for it. Obviously, it got cancelled because of everything that's going on. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they were having 60 or 70 cash game tables every single night.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's just crazy. You just don't see that anymore. And yeah, again, it's a little bit like what I was saying in the 2015 WPT in Amsterdam. Everyone's just on the same wavelength. Everyone's chatting away, and do you know what I mean? It's kind of how poker should be. There's tanking, no one's dressed silly, there's no about talking, trying to, like piss people off and stuff. It's just kind of nice, fun poker, and yeah, it was a good one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Your strangest ever Hendon Mob entry. Blackpool Tuesday nights, Freeroll. 60 entries, you finished 7th for 40 quid. And it ended up being on the Hendon Mob. That's please explain what happened. Why? Why is it there?
I think I maybe need to blame PK for researching this, don't I? I don't really know how that's on. I think that's 15 entry or something.
I'll just check up on Steve Warburton so we can have a nice chat while we're all in lockdown and we've not had a haircut for 3 months. And we get it was a free roll on a Tuesday night and there were 60 rooms.
Times were tough, Tower. Times were tough. That 1.8 million you were talking about before had gone. I had nothing left.
Oh, brilliant.
I remember what happened. We basically gone to Blackpool to watch I don't know if we're watching the darts or a
right, okay. And
what we did, we all rang Dina, and we made Dina extend the late reg, just so we could get to this thing. And It was one of those classic ones where you basically want to bus quite soon so you can go to the bar and just have a few drinks. But yeah, I ended up final table in it. Yeah, ridiculous.
The UK Poker Championships in 2018, the High Roller. Your final table, you finished 8th for 7,000. That wasn't the story. The story was Mr. Jake. The story was Mr. Jake Cody and the viral video that you were involved in and crazy scenes. How did that all come about?
How long have we got?
Well, is it really that long?
The short version, what I remember is we'd all been out the night before, and I mean we'd all been out to the point of in day 2 of this tournament, there was 5 or 6 people who hadn't arrived. You know, Jake for one, not mention names for other people, but Ludo and all the Scottish boys.
Yeah.
And with about, 50 people left, I remember Jake saying, if I win this tournament, it'll be so unjust that I'll put it all on black. And Ludo was on the rail, and Ludo heard this, and he never shut up about it from 50 all the way down. He was on the rail with the drink, obviously, and he said this. And all of a sudden, me and Jake were on this final. I have no idea how I was there or he was there. First thing he did was get shots for the table and stuff. He had the tournament director literally over every hand because he was showing cards and chat. You know what I mean? He was just whatever. And so I think he got 3-handed, and I'm not entirely sure. I think they might have done a deal, did they, or something? Or
I'm not sure how it ended. All I saw was the video about an hour later. Was it straight after the? Was it literally straight after the tournament finished?
It was literally straight after, and obviously when I busted, I was sulking because I always sulk when I bust. I basically went and played cash, and then the next thing I remember, honestly, is Jake coming up to me and saying, "I don't really want to do this, but I've kind of been forced into it." Rob Young, by the way, Young had walked in the casino to pick up his car keys, so he wasn't even to be there. And he basically heard from Scally, he basically wants to do this. Rob being Rob was just like, yeah, fine. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of gone from I don't want to do this, Swarbs, to us marching over to the table. It's all in. And then like, there's just no chance that Jake's ever going to lose there, by the way. And I was like slightly fuming that we didn't all get more on ourselves, like, because it's like, that's Jake. And also, the other thing was Rob basically said if it went on 0, that would be a chop as well.
Oh, so, nice one.
Yeah, it was a proper good bet, really. But
brilliant. Yeah, I remember the video on it. It just went absolutely mad, didn't it? It just went viral, and the shouting and the screaming.
It's just ridiculous how it happened, because it wasn't. It's just not really a thing that was like planned. It just kind of happened randomly, organically, and then obviously it was again a really sick night after that. But
absolutely. Yeah. But then we head over to
Canada. More responsibly, you're supposed to say after that, Carol.
Oh yes, absolutely. Do what Jake did.
It's not big and it's not clever.
But we're still traveling. We end up in Canada, the Bahamas. I know we do Vegas on a regular basis, but it's not bad, is it? There playing a few card games for traveling the world, is it? It's not that bad.
I mean, over these past 3 times 10 minutes or whatever, it sounds like it's all like roses and money and it's all amazing. But I mean, it is quite tough at times. I've had probably 2 18-month to 2-year periods of just not winning. You almost feel like you can't win a hand.
Yeah.
Having said that, super lucky to do what I do. Like it's fantastic to meet everyone, and I still get that buzz when you go deep in a live tournament. That's great. I've never really been one for playing, 16 tables online tournaments. I used to play heads up cash and short-handed cash online, but that buzz you get from tournaments is good, and all these kind of party poker stops and things. Like recently they've been amazing. And Montreal, Bahamas, like you say, are absolutely fantastic places. So you can't knock it. Yeah.
Absolutely not. One of your best friends, Andreas Olympius. you've got a lot of friends in poker, but railing Andreas for his WPT. Is that
ex-best friend?
Ex-best friend.
He's been stolen away.
No way.
So Dre has fallen in love.
Oh, good lad.
He's fallen in love. He's absolutely whipped to the court. So we never see him anymore. He's finished.
But just tell us what it was like being on the rail for Dre's WPT.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. I actually forgot about that one. Yeah, that was a really good one. There's probably 20 of us on the rail. I remember him messaging me the night before he final tabled. We were basically living together, but I hadn't seen him for maybe 2 days or whatever. And I think this was his last tournament, and he'd sold a bit of action to people as well. And he'd not had the best summer, and this was like the kind of final straw. And it was like some sort of turbo, and he was down to one big blind or half a big blind, and he'd spun that half a big blind to 15 big blinds, then made the final, and then all of a sudden I'm kind of getting the message saying, right, I've made the final, let's go down. So we basically all went down 4 or 5 handed. What's that? Do you remember that guy who came second in the World Series main? Is it Jay Farber? Is his name?
Oh,
Farber?
you were asking me to remember?
I think it's called Farber. It's like the kind of guy that basically runs like the Vegas nightclubs.
Oh, okay.
He's basically trying to organise some sort of deal between the last 4 or 5, because I think he's got a piece of the guy or whatever. so basically, me and Drake decided that we basically didn't want to do a deal. And so we had to pretend that we were ringing our backer back home and saying, is it okay to do this deal? Completely lied and just blagged it and said, oh, no, I'm sorry, we can't do the deal because our backer in England is saying no. This was all complete nonsense, just because we thought that Ray would basically win because he was playing well. Yeah. And it was like, I think there was 5 left. He was definitely the best player. And then from there, it was the best final table of all time. He just won 6 of 6 all-ins. Yeah. Everyone was constantly cheering. It was fantastic. That is probably the best final table I've ever
always seemed to be the bridesmaid, but he came up trumps at the WPT. It was,
and it was great because Dre's a fantastic guy. He's such a nice guy. So it was great to see.
Yeah, we are just about to end an hour with the tower, so we're going to quickly run through some quick fire questions if you're ready.
Go on then.
The best poker player you've played against?
Middy. By far, Tom Middleton. He will put you under it like no man you've ever seen. You can go out for a beer, you can go out for a dinner with Middy, and 2 minutes later you'll be on the poker table and he'll just be putting you bang under it. Tom Middleton.
Who is your poker nemesis?
Tom Middleton. No, it is though. It's not even. It is Middy. Every time I play with him, I probably win 1 of 30 hands. And if you play it live, you probably only play 6 or 7 a time. So, yeah, Middy.
The most underrated poker player you know.
Did you ever watch Catchphrase?
Yes.
And there was a guy who got asked the questions at the end, and he kept saying Turkey, Turkey, Turkey. This is me saying Middy, Middy, Middy. Middy is an unbelievably highly rated player, but I still think he's the most underrated player, genuinely. Because, I don't know, when you kind of talk to people, they think he's good, but I genuinely don't think people realise how good he is. He's got absolutely no fear playing live. And let's move on to the next question because my cock is so far up the top. I need to stop.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be? To see these cards.
No. Do you know what I'd do if I had a superpower? Of all the things you could do, I would attach a zip to Wilkersooth's mouth and I would close it forever. And let's leave it at that.
Favourite food?
God, favourite food? Where's that come from?
Question.
Huge fan of going out with everyone and eating together and stuff. I like all foods. I'm a huge fan of Like a guacamole. I'd like to put guacamole in everything.
And finally, would you do anything differently?
At the time, a lot of things, but I'm not really one for dwelling on what you've done in the past. You can only move on, mate, can't you? So nah.
Awesome. Steve Warburton, you've been an absolute superstar. And when I said at the beginning of this, I
believed you. I genuinely believed you.
One of my favourites. I 100% mean it, because you are one of the nicest guys to sit down, to chat, to laugh, shoulder to cry on if you want it, and you've been there and done.
Yeah. I love you, buddy.
You're an absolute star. Steve Warburton, thank you very much. And thanks everybody for watching An Hour with the Tower. Ta-ta.